Hi, I'm Jason Carter, and I'm here today to tell you about why I donate to Vote Cope, and hopefully you will start donating to Vote Cope as well. Vote Cope is NYSUT's voluntary political action fund. Your dues dollars don't actually go toward many of the political action campaigns that we do. So when we need to get a law passed, changed, or a potentially bad law blocked, Vote Cope is how we do it. There are some main issues that we work on a yearly basis. Every year, we advocate to get more state aid for schools in the budget. For the past several years, we have gotten the state to put a pause on APPR, as well as fix issues regarding the tenure of teachers and protected collective bargaining rights. I serve on the Wayne Teacher Resource Center Policy Board, and pretty much since TRCs were first created, we had to fight to get funding for them back into the state budget on a yearly basis. I'm going to spend a bit more time going over pensions and provide a personal example of how Vote Cope has made a dramatic difference. This chart shows you a history of the different tiers in the teacher retirement system. I am a Tier 4 member, and the original Tier 4 created in 1983 looks similar to the current Tier 6 that newer members would be in today. However, through Vote Cope, NYSUT fought to change Tier 4 into its current structure and was able to get that legislation passed in the year 2000. To illustrate the difference, I took out all of my TRS statements since I first started teaching and entered them into a spreadsheet and applied the formulas that are used in the original Tier 4 created in 1983 versus the Tier 4 of today. Here are those numbers. 450,000. What does that number mean? In order to calculate how much TRS pays out in retirement, you need a start date, for which I use the year in which I will first be eligible to retire, and an end date for the payments, which I entered into the formula for some reason that I would unfortunately pass away when I was 80 years old. You also need a final average salary, which I calculated by taking my current salary, and I assumed a 2.75% raise until the year I retire. So $450,000 is how much additional money I will be paid from the teacher retirement system spread throughout all of my years of retirement in the current Tier 4 structure versus the original Tier 4 that was created in 1983. While the previous number I showed you had to do with how much additional money I will get during retirement, the hard-fought changes made in Tier 4 with the support of Vote Cope also changed up how much money I contribute. In other words, how much money is taken out of my paychecks. The top number, $26,319.47, is the real dollar amount as of today that I got to keep in my paychecks over my career as a result of the changes made to Tier 4. The bottom number is how much I will save throughout my entire career. Again, this is assuming that I continue to get a 2.75% raise every year from now until when I retire at my first eligible date of retirement. So if you remember what I said earlier about the original Tier 4 being similar to the current Tier 6, this is why the Fixed Tier 6 campaign has been launched. In fact, if you perform the same calculations I did earlier on my salary for Tier 4, I would currently get roughly $1.5 million less paid out over my retirement if I was in Tier 6, while paying roughly $93,000 more out of my paychecks if I was in Tier 6 throughout my career. We already won some small, hard-fought legislative changes to Tier 6 earlier this year, but we are nowhere near close to where we need to be, and this is one prime reason why it is so important we continue to increase donations to Vote Cope. So regardless of where you are in your career, NYSUT and Vote Cope has made a huge difference, our donations, in pensions alone. Now I spent much more time talking on that because I can mathematically show you things. But again, we fight for a broad number of issues, and your dues dollars actually do not go towards our political action campaigns. Vote Cope does. So we count on these voluntary donations. So please make a donation, and it's the start of the school year. Have a great school year.